Hello, welcome everyone. Greetings to all our listeners, members of Flying Hub. Welcome to our podcast. I'm excited today to be your host and for this series, of course, where we have interesting professional interviews with our members. Today we have a special guest. He likes to be called PilotBob. Those who are active on LinkedIn and YouTube, they are enjoying his shorts and they are deeply connected to aviation. In this episode, we will get to know Pilot Bob more and more, and he's going to share his activities, achievements, and probably future plans. So please welcome Bob with me. Hello, Bob.
Hello. Hey, nice to be here,
Well,
Khalid. Thanks for the invite.
nice to have you. It's been a pleasure connecting with you and having you on our second episode of this series. So, Bob, first of all, I would like to thank you for being an active member on Flying Hub. And by the way, how you're coping with the cold weather in Canada?
Okay, the cold weather. I'm going to be really honest with you. I was born here in Canada, in Montreal, and I'm 59 years old today, and I never got used to it. I do not like cold weather. I would rather be in Oman right now in that hot, scorching sun. I don't have a problem with that. So, cold weather, that's not good for me.
It's not your friend.
No, I'm not at all.
All right. Okay. As I said, you have been one of our first members of Flying Hub, but we still need to know more about Pilot Bob. So, what can you tell us?
Well, Pilot Bob, yeah, I'm going to go back a long ways. Back in the 80s, I was studying television production, film, radio, and I just developed this great love for performing, acting. I've been in a few movies on movie sets, American productions. And then COVID came along and things got a little quiet. So I started off my podcast, Rob's Inner Circle, and I did some short films and also had uh, a web series that I created as well, Daily Struggles. I played with my good friend Patty. Our moms go way back in Europe when they were teenagers. They used to hang out together, have a lot of fun. So I know Patty for a long while. And I always had this love for aviation, and people were saying to me, "Why isn't that you don't have your own aviation show? I mean, you'd be good at it and all that." So I give it some thought because by that time I was posting every Saturdays. It was on Facebook. It was no video, no nothing, just information about aviation. And then I gave it some good thought. I said, "Yeah, you know what? Why not? So let's do our own show." So from Pilot Bob, things started picking up. I had my Pilot Bob No Delay podcast. Then I had the Pilot Bob's Q&A, Pilot Bob Live. And now I'm doing shorts because shorts is what grabs people's attention the most. They're under a minute. You're concise to give good information, keep the audience captivated. And so that's what's working for me right now. So I'm expanding my network through LinkedIn. I'm meeting wonderful people like yourself. I've met Raquel, who's going to be who has been your first guest on episode 1. I met a lot of people. I'm close to about 5,000 connections on LinkedIn. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great community. I love aviation. I have something to say. I want to share it with the audience.
That's all good to hear. You said you've been acting, so you're not a pilot?
Actually, okay. So let's get this straight right off the bat over here. No, I am not a pilot. So this is part of my act.
Okay.
I'm an aviation enthusiast, and I take special care to put this on all of my profiles on social media because people actually. I have messages in my inbox. They're asking me intricate and complicated questions about aviation. I go, "Sir, ma'am, I'm not a pilot. I'm an enthusiast." Okay. So but yes, I am an actor. I've acted in. Oh God,
you are a good one.
Thank you. I'm convincing. Yeah, I got the uniform. If you want to portray someone, you might as well go all the way, get the uniform, get the whole stuff, get the mannerism, and that's what part of acting is, right? So, like I was saying before, I just love to share the information that I've acquired over the years. Great mentors like yourself that helped me out. So it's a lot of fun. So going back to acting, I was in my film. One of my latest films was, this is going back in 2015, The Walk. That's between the Twin Towers. That's based in New York City. The Twin Towers before they came crashing down. Unfortunately, God bless all of those people's souls. I had a small part in there, opposite Gordon. What is it? Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's the one going into the building, and the building was not completed back in the in time in that scene. So that's the big scene I had, and of course I did other productions as well. I did an episode of Being Human. That's a Canadian American production. I had the role of a plumber. Reenactments, Stranger in the House, Fatal Vows. I did a Mars bar commercial for England only. I did a few, and I did a lot of my own short films that you can find on the Bobby's Shorts channel, and I have all my films on there.
Okay, good to hear that. And this is an invitation for our members to go and watch the Watch then in this case.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we just discovered that you are not a pilot, you are an actor, and you're doing it very well. We are doing it very well. So what do you enjoy most about aviation?
Okay, aviation as a whole, what I love is, this just blows me away. It's the whole organization, through the whole thing. Geez, as starting off just with a particular airline, all the organization they have the dispatcher, then you have to bring in the pilots, the co-pilots, then you have to bring in the crew, coordinating everything. A lot of times there's transfers, flights coming in. I'll give you an example from the US. There's a flight coming in from Detroit going to Chicago, and then from there they're connecting. The plane is waiting. They're taking them to Los Angeles. And then from there, they might be going off to Hawaii. It's just the whole organization. The way everything is done is fascinating. But then again, with all those planes you have in the sky, and all the air traffic control, making sure the planes are 1,000 feet apart and going like north-south, and the speed that they're going, it's so regulated. It's just fascinating. And the plane itself, just how the plane flies, that's a whole other story for another day.
You're absolutely right. Yeah,
absolutely fascinated with aviation.
Yeah, true. One of my friends says aviation is an addiction. So people who actually leave it, they feel they struggle to forget it. And you're absolutely right. And again, this is another invitation for other industries to learn from aviation, the way it's well regulated. So you are absolutely right. Thank you for highlighting that. Somebody who is actually outside the aviation industry, and he's well aware about all of these things. If I go back to that, you are not a pilot, and you have all this huge desire for aviation industry. Did you ever dream of becoming a pilot?
That thought crossed my mind since the first day I began loving aviation back in 1979. It took me 15 years to wake up.
Wow.
From 64, yeah, that's it. That's 15 years. Yes, I did want to become a pilot, but then by that age, you need some family support. Parents not exactly supportive of the idea because they're afraid of flying. You're gonna be gone all the time. What kind of family life you're gonna have? And I never was good at mathematics.
Yeah.
So the more time passed, and the more I had the desire to become a pilot, but I just had to accept, the fact that it became a little too late, and especially at age 59 right now. I'm not going anywhere with a career like that. I guess,
I wish I have your energy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in here, so yeah,
That's good.
I would have loved to become a pilot, but no, I didn't become a pilot. But there is one thing that came out of that. My daughter is a not a pilot, but she is an airline technician at Bombardier International
Ah,
here in Montreal. She's on the Global 7,500. She's a team leader, and I'm very proud to say that.
thank
Very
you.
brilliant girl, very smart. She's doing the engine run. She's in the cockpit. What is that they call it just before they deliver it to the customer? There's a name for that.
Uh, they do a lot of tests actually before they give
Yeah,
the
well, that's it. She's testing the flaps. She's testing the ailerons, the whole components, the cockpit, the avionics, everything. Anyways, it's a pre-flight. Pre-flight. That's called pre-flight. Yeah, before they deliver it to the program to the customer. So
Okay.
she's doing that. My daughter, I guess, picked up after me in the aviation business. Not being a pilot, but she's directly involved with aircrafts. Lucky her. I wish I could be there.
That's good. At least she's making your dream come true.
Yeah, she's an extension of my dream. Exactly.
That's good. That's good. Does she send you a lot of pictures then?
Who's that?
Your daughter, does she send you a lot of pictures and videos from
Well,
around the plane, from inside, or maybe this is a kind of maybe secret at that maybe at that.
exactly. I asked for those. I'm going to be, as a matter of fact, featuring I'm going to have a feature, Women in Aviation, that's coming up. I got my daughter's going to be one of my guests, but it's going to be like a short, a 1 minute thing. I asked for a lot of pictures and videos, but like you said, it's top secret. They don't want to share any of that,
Yeah,
unfortunately. But on the web, you could always go and get
yeah.
pictures of the Global 7,500.
Yeah, okay.
It,
Uh,
it's just too
yeah,
bad, I would have liked to see her next to that aircraft, but they don't allow that, unfortunately.
yeah. Speaking of family, we noticed in some of your clips, maybe I did, Mrs. Pilot Bob. Uh,
Ah,
she,
Angie,
some
my
of your
wife.
yeah, some of your clips. She's sharing some of your clips with you. Uh, I'm sure she's your biggest fan. So, what is this special in this scene?
Well, actually, she's actually living out a dream herself. I got to
Okay,
create the idea of dressing her up as a pilot, just like a publicity stunt. And right now, I ordered these epaulettes. I have 3 bars instead of 4, so she could be my
okay.
co-pilot, the first officer.
You are the captain.
And actually, her dream with aviation, she wanted to be a flight attendant. And she was not able to fulfill that dream
Okay,
because, again, parents weren't supportive. You're always gone, and the whole story behind that. But I'm going to be introducing something special in the coming months, a segment on flight attendants, and she's going to be dressed as a flight attendant while I'm the pilot. So we're both
ah,
living out our dream.
okay, okay. Good luck with that.
Well, thanks. Hey, with
Okay.
the green screen I have in the back here, you can do a lot of things.
Well, you are the expert. I'm not. I don't have green screen behind me. I don't know what to do
All
with
you
it.
need, you just go to the store, get yourself a green cloth, and then you
Okay.
can superimpose even on if you're going to be doing this podcast a little more, and I hope
Yeah.
you will, and I predict that you're going to be very successful at it. You're going to have a huge following because you are a smart and talented guy. You get yourself, and listen, I can help you with that. I can give you the advice. A
Very
green
good.
cloth
Thank you very much.
right behind you, make sure it fills out the frame, and you can do a whole bunch of effects with that.
Very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate the help. I appreciate the support. I will contact you when I reach that stage. So
Yes, sir.
thank you for for your generosity. Uh, just before we close up, since you are in aviation, I'm sure you love traveling, don't you?
I absolutely love traveling. I had the pleasure to travel. My favorite trip, obviously, was the one when I went to Italy. This is back in 1979. It was a nice long trip on a DC-10 Series 30 back in the day. I did have a
Wow.
chance to travel. Like I said, I've been to the Dominican Republic on board the Airbus 320 from Air Canada. I've also been on the Transat 321. I believe it's a 321, also, or maybe a 320. I took a 747 from Montreal to Mexico City. This is back when Nation Air existed. We transferred and went on to a Mexicana 727 to go to from there to Acapulco. So I've been to Jamaica, Mexico, Dominican Republic, Italy, and I would definitely love to go see you in Oman, shake your hand in person. I do want to go to
Likewise,
Dubai.
likewise,
I want to go to
likewise.
Dubai. I want to go to all these beautiful, wonderful places. Maybe even visit India, Thailand, Vietnam for sure, because my girlfriend is Vietnamese. I call her my wife
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
but she's Vietnamese. I want to go back to Vietnam with her and see what that's all about down there.
It's a beautiful country.
Oh yeah, from what I hear,
It
yes.
is. Okay, so what is your favorite destination?
Okay, my favorite destination. You know what I want to do? I want to visit Europe. I want to visit Italy, Switzerland, Germany, other neighboring nations, Spain,
Yeah,
Greece, Portugal. Maybe going a little far off. Um, Other countries in Europe, maybe the Scandinavian countries as well, because there's a lot to see in Europe. There
absolutely.
are old countries, especially Germany. They're renowned for the beautiful castles. And I'd
Yep.
love to see that.
True.
Even go to Romania and probably come face to
Romania.
face with one of Dracula's ancestors from Transylvania. Who knows?
You could actually plan a cruise trip in Europe where you can actually visit more than one country uh, during the trip.
That sounds like a plan. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, it's the best way. You do a bit of this, a bit of that. It's like you go to a
Yeah.
restaurant, you try some of this beef, then you try some of the salad, then you try a bit of everything. Hey, you know what? I really like Switzerland. I got to go back to have that delicious cheese and chocolate and maybe buy a nice watch.
That's good. Okay, Bob, I would like to share with us something about Pilot Bob that probably no one knows yet. Something unique, something exclusive for Flying Hub. What can you tell us?
Okay, you want something unique about Pilot Bob?
Yes.
Okay. Well, listen.
Apart from being an actor.
Well, look, I was in my civilian clothes and I went to a grocery store, and this like totally freaked me out. I mean, I go, hey, listen, come on. I'm just a character on social media. And this little kid goes, Mom, look, it's Pilot Bob. I was in my t-shirt
What?
and jeans. And, oh my God, how do you know me? So that was the coolest thing. And took a picture, of course. And I was like really flattered. That's one of the
Yeah.
coolest things. So you never know. You never know what can happen. It's just going about my business, not bothering anyone, not talking to anyone. This little kid just goes, hey, mom, it's Pilot Bob. And it's like, wow, okay. So, it just goes to show the impact that we have here on social media, myself, yourself, anybody that's social media, we have an impact. We can have a positive impact on people's lives. I know that this out of Pilot Bob, when I was doing my web series, Daily Struggles, people would text me, goes, oh my God, I was so down. I got operated, blah, blah. I was feeling down and I needed that good laugh. So, we
Yeah.
all have some kind of influence on people. And usually it's a good impact we have on people. And that's what the gratification of the whole business is. If you can make someone's day, make someone happy, that's worth more than the pay itself.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right, and thank you for giving those shorts. I keep seeing them. You actually help us draw a smile on our faces, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who might feel the same.
What's cool is that I also am one person who does recognize people who support me. And I've been having shout outs for the past 3 or 4 Fridays. One of them, Dr. Elnaz, my God, what's her name again? Chalanger. Dr. Elnaz Chalanger. She's a pilot in Iran. You're
Yes.
coming up soon. I had James Cartwright. He's
Oh,
a pilot as well. He's a captain of the 777. So that's the whole
yeah,
thing. I appreciate
yeah,
people who support, and it's important to get that feedback.
yeah.
That's why we do it, because we want to have sort of impact on people's life and bring something positive to people.
That's very good to hear. Thank you very much, Bob. I would like to thank you very, very, very much for being with us. Please keep up your active spirit with us in Flying Hub, and I wish you all the best.
Well, thank you so much for having me here. I feel privileged to be here with Khalid. Obviously, this is one of the nicest platforms we have on LinkedIn, and I encourage all you viewers to bring in a whole bunch of friends and a whole bunch of people. Bring them to Flying Hub. It's a great place to be. People, there are good contributors. There's a lot of nice stuff, and Khalid himself is very knowledgeable about aviation, so it's a great place to be. And like I said, once again, thank you for having me.
Thank you very much.